Welcome to Unified Love Couples Ministry with your host, Senior Pastor and Apostle Reese. Join us as we share biblical principles for successful relationships and marriage. And now, Senior Pastor Olden and Apostle LaShawn Reese.
Good evening.
Good evening. We're back.
Yes, we are. We are Unified Love Couples Ministry, the place where two hearts meet.
Yes.
I am Apostle LaShawn Reese.
And I am Pastor Olden Reese.
And we are excited to be here on tonight. We realize that, it's a lot of things that we deal with in relationship,
Yes.
getting established in relationship, going through in relationships. So as we are entering relationships, we've got to make sure that we have no unfinished business.
Ooh.
Yes. So we have a hot topic tonight. Please make sure that you share, invite others.
Tell.
Invite others to be on the broadcast on tonight because we're talking about unfinished business. And that is crucial tonight because a lot of times we go in relationships with unresolved issues from a previous relationship.
Ooh.
Yes. So my husband and I, we were watching Tyler Perry's Sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the episodes, Zach went to see his ex-wife and they ended up sleeping together, having sex. And in the act of it, in the midst of it, her new boyfriend walked in and caught them. So now here's somebody that was devastated because there was unfinished business between my past relationship, my past husband, my ex-husband, my ex-wife. And now not only was there an issue with Zach, Zach also had a girlfriend too. So we've got two people that are impacted negatively because there is unfinished business. So we wanted to talk about that tonight because when we saw it, we was like, wait, that'll be a good topic to discuss because a lot of times we go in to new relationships without having resolved or completely ended that we have come out of. So it's important that, before we get someone else's heart tied up into us, before we get someone else interested in us, before we get someone else that wants to be with us, we've got to make sure that, there is no attachments to who we used to be with.
So, listen, I understand, relationships and things happen in relationships, but where is it that, how people treat one another and how people leave a relationship for one another, but then somewhere along the line, they still have some kind of feelings. They still have some issues that they didn't get resolved. And now they done moved on and met somebody else, but still they have feelings for the other person. So why start a new relationship when you still have the old one where you still have feelings for that person? And when you got something like that, somebody's going to get hurt. Either the old person going to get hurt or the new person going to get hurt.
So it's important
that,
before pursuing a new relationship, so we're talking about new relationships now, but we're going to talk about marriages and couples as well as we go further into the broadcast. But when before pursuing a new relationship, we've got to check our heartstrings for attachments.
Right.
So what does that mean? Make sure that my heart is not invested in someone else because now I'm going to, I'm starting new. And a lot of time, and honestly, it's done because we're on the rebound. We're hurting from a relationship. So now we have somebody else that can come in and make it a little easier.
And that's the problem with rebounds. Because somebody going to get hurt.
Yes.
Definitely. And it usually be the person who's the rebound person. Or they just trying to make the other person jealous, or they still have feelings for that person. And all that person has to do is pick up the phone and call them. And now you don't forget all about the person you with right now.
Yeah. So there's questions that need to be asked before we go into a relationship, especially if we just ended a previous relationship, or if we feel that we're still vested in a relationship from the past. So what we'll do is ask ourselves, is there still love there? Am I still in love with this person? If that person was to come back to me right now and I'm with somebody else, would I leave that person in order to be with the one that my heart string is attached to?
Mm.
And you know, we don't think about the consequences of the person that we're now with, you know, and as we are Christians and we're in God, it shouldn't be that we're bouncing from person to person, but relationships do end.
Yeah.
And when we find that we're not compatible, when we find that, you know, this is not the one for me, but am I in love with this person? And when I just kicked the other one to the curb because this one came in or came back and I'm still in love with them.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of times people make mistakes of starting something that they haven't finished with yet. And I think that's where the mistake is, that they'll start a relationship with somebody and knowing they haven't, they didn't finish what they started with the other person.
That's it.
And I go back to it and I say it again. All that person has to do is call, text, say something, and they don't forgot all about the person who, you know, you done been with this person for 2 months, and you know they've been trying to, want to be with you, want to marry you, want to in love with you, but now you are still all about your ex or whoever it is. It may be, maybe you still may have feelings for them, and next thing you know, all they have to do is make that one phone call. And now you was like, well, I know we've been seeing each other, and you talked about marriage, and you talked about us being hugged, but I still have some issues, some things.
Yes.
Now that raises a red flag to the person who you've been with for 2 months, but now they wondering what's going on now. What happened with all this change? Before it was all you was down with me, you was down with us getting married, you was down with us in a relationship, but now something else came up.
And believe me, I asked my husband before we were married. I asked him, look at his face. I asked him if was there any chance of you getting back with your ex-wife. Look, they had been together 15 years. They had 2 children. Although they had already been divorced for 7 years, still, I needed to know, are you still in love with her? If she was to come back now, or is there any reconciliation that I get kicked to the curb? But I needed to ask because that's what was on my heart. And a lot of things that do be on our hearts, we don't say anything, we don't ask. And then by the time everything go down, it's too late and we're left out in the cold. So if you see the warning signs, you're in a relationship with someone that's attached, and I know that sometimes you still are friends with the one that you was in a relationship with. I know that you may still talk on the phone. I know, but when you're going into the new, there should be some boundaries, because that person should not still have easy access to you as they did in the past.
And I'm gonna tell you that, what my wife just said, and I gave her an answer of no. I think we're better off as just friends, because she's my children's mom. I think it's better off that way with me and her. So I left it as that because it wasn't anything where we were going to get back together. And I had to ask kind of the same question too, because there was some issues going on with that, with my wife ex, who he knew we were getting married, and he had this idea that, hey, I can get her back. And you never know, you have them kind now.
I'm looking straight ahead.
You don't want to comment on that?
No comment.
Even came down from out of town.
Okay, moving right along.
No.
Look, anyone have any questions, comments? Y'all know how we roll. Put it in the comment section, and we will answer your question transparently, open-mindedly. Those that have been with us, if you're new to the broadcast, would you stop it? If you're new to the broadcast, please just go ahead and ask your question and share. Share this broadcast because there's so many people struggling in making the decision of whether or not they really want to be with that person. So, cut any cord or strings of attachment that you have with the person. Cut the cord, because if you feel like you want to move on with your life, if you feel like this is not the best thing for you, don't string a person on. Don't continue to act like that they have a chance or opportunity when you know that's not your intentions. A lot of times that leads to the other person being angry, frustrated, and you don't know it could turn violent. So please, if that is not your intention, don't have any unfinished business. If we say that it's over, cut dry, I'm gone, I'm out. We ain't got to go out to dinner. We ain't got to eat. I'm not trying to tempt you. It is done. It is finished.
And that's the best way to handle it. I feel a lot of times people make mistakes, and they try to have their cake and eat it too. So hey, let me hang on to this one just in case this one don't act right. So I have we used to call it spare tire. So
that's a good point, because if that person is trying to get that person and they're pursuing and trying to get them back, now here come the gifts, here come the money, here come nice things that are I'm trying to give you and buy you because I know you're seeing somebody else, but and women, when we have our hearts, our minds set on someone and we're in pursuit, it doesn't matter if they're in a relationship. It doesn't matter if they are married, and we have to, even as Christians, set a standard that we're not so easily to be taken or so easily to be wooed and so easily. And one of my pet peeves, and I've heard it so many times again, about men that have been in jail, they come into the church to find them a good wife. And I have nothing against returning citizens that are coming back into society, but if your mind and your heart is not on Jesus, is no way that you have a chance with me. And that's how our standards should be. How is it that you feel like Christian women are so weak that you can come straight out of jail and get us and snatch us out of the church? So we have to, even as women, set a standard that our standards are high. I don't come easy and I don't come cheap, and yes, that's another topic, right? And we have to cut the strings. Any emotional attachments, don't play with your heart. Don't play with, how you feel, how easily and emotionally attached that you become to someone after talking to them countless hours on the phone, going out and spending time together. How easily it is for you to be emotionally attached. So there should be boundaries. Go ahead, baby.
No, I'm just saying a lot of times, how a person, they've been with somebody for a while, and then this other person who they used to really love come back into their life, and we're just friends, and all of a sudden now they going out, and we just talking. He going through, or she going through so many problems, and I'm trying to help them out. And the whole thing is he trying to get you back,
right?
Because why? If I can get them away from the significant other, the one that they even talking about marrying, or the one they married to, and get them talking about me and them, hey, I got a shot.
Exactly. And if we're sending signals that they have a shot, then they're going to continue to pursue. So it goes both ways, the man or the woman. Like if we're showing like we're interested or we like the attention or, there's a possibility, they're going to keep coming. They're going to keep coming. But if
Married or
you,
not.
that's right. But if you set a standard and you let them know, hey, this is it, and your actions is a direct reflection of your words, then you won't have to worry about being stalked or being, they're calling you and hanging up and all this craziness. Be straight, be for real. Let them know how you really feel and don't let it be unfinished. Get to the resolve, get to the resolution of the heart of the problem. I'm not in love with you. I don't want to be with you anymore. And, just we have to be careful and take others' feelings into consideration.
And don't listen to family members and people, your friends, girlfriend, boyfriend, guy friends, whoever.
Because everyone.
Yeah, telling you, well, maybe you should. If you ain't happy with him or her, maybe you should talk to them. Yeah, give him a chance. You never know. I know you save. I know you go to church, but still, he take good care of you, or she take good care of you. Or maybe she don't do you like your wife do. The wife is mean and angry all the time, and then here come this nice young lady, so nice to you. Oh, you so sweet.
Yes.
Let's go out just as friends. You know it's more than friends.
Yes. Don't be wooed. Don't be tricked. Don't be manipulated. And if your heart is not in it, don't pretend to be in it.
Yes.
So those that are in relationships, those that are getting engaged, please, there's no, I'll learn to love you. No, love is love. And when you find your soulmate, there's no learning about it. Don't look at material possessions. Don't look at things that they have and just feel like, oh, this is what I want, but you don't have no love for them. Don't play with others' hearts. Don't run game and trickery and all this other kind of stuff that is so popular. It's the in thing now, and so in that reality shows.
And God just gave me this. People disguise themselves as what you think you want. And when you get it, now you found, and left something that was good to you, somebody that was right with you. Yeah, they may not have done everything that you want, but you married them, or you was with them, and now you're left them to go back to somebody else, and because that person don't want stuff, they don't cook dinner for you, or they talk to you so nice, they even help you with your problems with your wife or your fiance or your husband, and they tell you all the right things you want to hear, and why he can't be more like that, why she can't be more like that, why she don't hear me out, why he don't hear me out, why they don't listen to when I'm talking, they over talk me, they don't listen to the things I'm trying to say. Why do they do these things? So don't get disguised. Don't be manipulated by just because that person is doing it. Because why? They would try anything they can.
Yes.
If they want to be with you, they would try anything they can to try to be with you.
Yes.
And if it takes that, hey, you know what? I'll be that friend. I'll be that one they call at night. They telling me all their problems. He not doing you right. You should leave him. That's right. Leave him. Girl, I can do better. You can do better. Who's the better? Them.
That's it.
Or, she don't love you. She ain't treating you right. She don't even cook you a meal.
Oh, my.
You see? You with me, I'll be cooking you meals. Your clothes will be out. Yeah, that's the disguise.
Yes. So don't be tricked. Don't be manipulated.
Yes.
If you have attachments to someone in your past or even hurt by someone in your past, make sure that you heal before you pursue a new relationship.
And better than that, Don't be surprised on somebody you just met, you know, and they nice to you. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, yeah, that person may be nice. It may not. They may not. Your wife or your husband may not be treating you right, and you meet this new person, and now they're treating you all nice and good and toasty, and everything is fine. Don't be tricked and mess up what you already have, because now you gotta look at the relationship that you built with your husband, the relationship you built with your wife, the relationship you built together. If you got a fiance and y'all been together for a year or two and y'all finna get married now, now you question it. Is that what I want to do? And see, a lot of time the world put that picture in our heads. If you ever watch certain movies, that person leave the other person because, you know, now they met somebody else, and oh, they so cool, they so nice, they so this. But that's just on TV. That's just in the movies. But then when you get with that person, now you start noticing stuff, you start noticing things, and now you figured out and you finally realize you made a mistake.
Yes. And it's a comment here says, so excited. So excited with being an option, not realizing that it doesn't mean a priority.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that is deep. That is deep.
And in a relationship, in a marriage, for each other, you have to be that priority.
Yes.
If you're that priority for each other, then nobody else, I don't care who it was, I don't care what kind of relationship, I don't care how good they look, I don't care if you just met them tomorrow, ain't nobody can penetrate your relationship with your wife, with your husband. Nobody can penetrate. Nobody can add in. Nobody can, you know, give or tell you, oh, I'm gonna be that person for you. And you already got that person who was with you in your good time, in your bad, when you ain't had, when they was right there helping you, they were struggling with you, they was there for you, they was in the hospital with you, they've been there for you. And now you ready to walk away from them because somebody you done met or somebody you had in your past. They always are saying is leave your past behind you.
Yes, let the past be the past.
Let the past be the past. Don't dig up old past relationship. Think about why you left that person or why you and that person are not together anymore.
Yes.
There's reasons. There's situation. Go back. Yeah, you need to go back and think about that before you talk about leaving your husband and leaving your wife. Or I'm gonna break up with my fiance.
Yes.
Because this guy came back. Yeah, and all you start remembering the good time. You remember all the other stuff he did.
That's right. That's right.
Or she did to you. All you think about is, oh, they back now. Oh, they so loving. Oh, they bought me a teddy bear. Oh, they took me out to dinner. Oh, we had a good time together. We laughed. We talked. And, oh, they hear me out. They listened to me. They gave me good sound advice.
Yes.
All that is the front. Why? I need to get you back.
Yes. Yes.
So I'll be nice. I won't show my other side. I won't show how I'm really feeling. I won't show those things that you did, the things that you did not like about me.
Right. Undercover.
Yes.
Because they already know what you like, what
like.
you don't like. So they're trying to do everything to manipulate you, the spirit of manipulation, to manipulate you so you can come back to them, making you believe a false dream that things will work out better now. Things will not be the same. Things will be different now. And because we love them and may still have feelings for them, sometimes we fall in the trap thinking that things would change. And a lot of times it don't. It don't. And sometimes it's even worse. It's even worse.
And when you figure out that is worse, and now you don't hurt the other person that truly loved you, now they don't want to have nothing to do with you no more. Now you stuck. Now you're without anybody. And that person that you finally realized wasn't good for you, now they going about their business. you're without anybody, and they'd rather see you without anybody than
If
to
you're
see
not
you
with
with.
them,
If you're not with them,
exactly.
they'd rather see you without somebody.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So that's why it's important to have a relationship with God, that we're able to discern who is that right
That's
person
right.
for us and who God has for us, who is our soulmate, so we won't operate totally in our feelings or in our flesh or in our emotions. We won't operate in, this ideal of an ideal wife or an ideal husband, and this
Or,
is what we're looking for,
or what
and
you're imagining.
our imagination,
Yeah,
and this
because
is
we
what
get
I'm dreaming
men,
for.
and we get in that
Hmm.
imagination.
Hmm.
Oh, I can you see her with an apron on, and she cooking you dinner, and she cooking you a beautiful breakfast in the morning, and I live in the white picket fence, and everything is fine and dandy. But you don't think about the other.
Hmm.
You don't think about how bad it could be. You don't think about it could,
Right.
the worst part of it. Yeah,
Yes.
because you want to be positive. You want to think, well,
Hmm.
they have changed.
Hmm.
She not nagging like she used to be.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
he's not overbearing, and
Hmm.
he's not always, looking at me funny. And oh, he's treating me better. He's talking. He's listening. Because
Yes.
why? They want you back.
Yes.
And if it causes you to lose the relationship with the one who's been there for you to get you back, they will do it.
So unfinished business.
Unfinished business.
Okay, we've dealt with those that are not married yet.
Mhm.
So be careful, be watchful, be wise. Don't anything unfinished, any baggage, anything that we have that would affect a new relationship that we're going into. We've got to make sure that we are healed from the past so that we won't go in looking at the person funny and accusing them because of something that happened in a previous relationship. So we've got to make sure that we're free and clear to really love someone else and allow ourselves to be loved without hypocrisy or without remembering something that somebody else did to us in the past. It's unfinished business if we have unresolved hurt that we have not dealt with because we're walking around in the spirit of unforgiveness.
Yes.
So if we are able to forgive the person that hurt us, forgive the one that misused us, did not appreciate the value that we possess, that's your loss. I'm not going to carry that with me no more. I'm not going to be angry about it no more. I'm not going to be mad about it no more. I'm not going to let it affect the person that God has for me because I'm still dealing with your foolishness. So just let it go. Let it go. Walk away. Let God heal you. Give it to God and He will heal you that you're able to go forward and pursue new relationships.
Yes.
And be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And be happy.
And in new relationships, ask those questions. Ask those questions about, hey, why does because some men have baby mamas, and you know how baby mamas get, especially when they know you with somebody else. Now they got to extra call you about your child. It ain't really about the child. It's to mess your head up and mess your relationship up and get the other one that you said, get them upset with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because why? Now I could still be in his life because I got his child.
Yes. Yes.
And since I got his child, I can mess that relationship up. Somehow, some way, I can get him back.
Unfinished business.
Yeah, and it goes vice versa. Get a man who have a child with a woman, and now she's because somebody else is in her life.
Yes.
She got a new husband, and now he's the one in the household over your child, over your children that are living in the house with him and her.
Right.
So you already done lost her. Now you feel like you're losing your children because this man is in the house with her as her husband.
Yes.
And ain't nothing you can do about it. Only thing you can do is send your child.
Mm-hmm. I see that baby mama drama. Yeah. It don't have to always be drama, depending on the people and their level of maturity. Some can let bygones be bygones and allow others to be happy with someone else while they are with someone else and they've had children from someone else. So it's just a level of maturity and knowing how to cope when relationships go bad.
And one thing I want to say is, and if they could be with somebody else, wow. They could be with somebody else, and then with them, you don't know, y'all ain't been together in over 10, 15 years, but they see you happy, go lucky with somebody else, and everything could have been fine, y'all, but the main reason when they see you with somebody else, something triggers on the inside of them, and they could be saved and all that other stuff, and oh, I love the Lord, but they all it takes is one little trigger to see you with somebody else. Nah, they upset. Oh, look how he treating her. He didn't treat me like that when he was with me. Oh, look how she treating him. She didn't treat me like that. She never fixed my dinner. Be careful.
Yes.
Even if you have children with that other person and y'all no longer together, be careful. I ain't saying be mean and nasty to them, but I'm just saying if they come with that mess about, hey, we should be getting back together, I don't know why you went. Listen, stop that right there in its tracks.
Yes.
You gotta stop that. And don't entertain that. Well, I'm with somebody. Oh, come on, why you going there? No. Listen, I have a husband now. I have a wife now.
That's it.
We're never gonna get together. Just accept that. Find you somebody you want to be with.
Yes.
And they ain't gonna be me.
That's it. You got to be straight to the point. Do not mislead a person. And especially if you know that there is no chance, no opportunity, why go through the emotional stress and the drama that is attached to it? If you mean no, let that mean no. I don't have to go out to dinner. We ain't got to go on no date. You don't even have to call me. Like, come on. If no, your answer is no, let it be no, so that person can move on and see that you are serious about what you are saying, and then move on.
But we have children together. You gotta talk to me.
Yeah, when there's children, of course, there's children. But I'm not with your shenanigans and your games, and and if we have to, make some kind of arrangement in order for this to be a way that we can function together, then so be it. But hey, that's why it's so important who you allow. Be careful. Be careful. Soul ties. Be careful. Be careful who you allow into your space. Please be careful, because some of the consequences we don't want to deal with, and some of it, some of the some minds can't handle that type of warfare. So just be careful. Be wise. Be watchful.
Some people can be so upset, and let's say you do have children, and you invite them to your child's birthday, and that's your ex, and that's his child, or that's their child, and they decide, oh, I can't have you, I don't want to come. Little comments like that. Be careful, and don't play into those things, because you know what? A lot of times, those things can trigger something, making that person think, I got a chance. Come, but you got to come for the child. They don't want to come. Don't force them.
That's it.
Just let them know this is your child. I'm not a part of what you want from me. I'm not a part of that, but that's your child.
Yes.
You need to spend time with them, not me. We ain't gonna be your family. The family affair is over.
Amen. Unfinished business in marriage, in relationships, your marriage. Now we talked about relationships, those things you can easily detach from if you have the mind that you no longer want to be there, and then making sure that there's no unnecessary, no unfinished business. So everything is resolved, done, over with. I've moved on. So now if I am married, it ain't no move on, I'm done with it, that's it, and we have an issue. If I am married, I cannot allow issues to linger in my marriage because issues escalate.
Yes, they do.
If I'm not saying anything, if he's not saying anything, and there is a legitimate problem, it don't even have to be legitimate. It could be the smallest thing can grow into a monster because we refuse to talk about it. It turns into anger. It turns into bitterness. It turns into hatred. It turns into mistrust because we are not being expressive. We're not, and that makes it unfinished business. So if I think that us not talking about it is going to resolve the problem, that never happens because it always comes up again because we never resolved it. And if we think that it's going to go away, we're just fooling ourselves. We have to make sure that we are resolving issues. We're not dancing around the subject, but getting to the root of the problem and being honest about it. Not just saying what we think the other person want to hear in order to, kill that. Okay, it's over, it's done. I don't really want to talk about it. So I'm just saying, yeah, okay. No, that does not resolve issues. We have to make sure that we are honest and that we're both seeking a solution, a resolution. What is it that we're going to do in order to cut that, stop it, so it don't continue to grow or manifest or continue to come and be repetitively coming back over and over and over again. I don't want to fuss about the same thing. I don't want to go through the same thing. I want to live in peace. So in order to live in peace, every issue, regardless of whether you think it's big enough, it needs to be resolved because what seems big to you may be bigger to him. What seems big to her may be smaller to him. So we've got to make sure that if there's an issue, if there's a problem, that we're talking about it and we are resolving it.
I want to just add on to what my wife said about just saying, "Oh, everything is fine." Yeah. Because really, in the back of your head somewhere, you say, "You know what? Let them do what they want to. I don't care." You know. And now you got this attitude about when they come and talk, do what you want. You do it anyway. We can't be like that. We have to address the issue at hand.
Yes.
We need to sit down and talk. And I think that's what happens a lot of time in marriages. No issues get resolved because we so busy trying to say, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to deal with it. Yeah. Whatever you say. I'm not going through that. I'm not going to be up all night. I'm not going to be going back and forth with you. No. Whatever you say, go do what you do. You know, go do what you do. I don't want to hear it. Just do what you do. Because now you got an attitude about it. It may not look like an attitude, but it is. And now every time something comes up, look, do what you gonna do. You're gonna do what you want anyway. You ain't gonna listen to me.
Wow.
That's how they look at it. But that's not how it should be handled. Look, let's sit down, let's talk about this. Let's get it out in the open so we won't have any more issues or problems like this anymore. We don't fix it then. It's never going to be fixed. It's going to get worse. When another problem comes, and then when another problem comes, and then when something else comes, and then you know what's going to happen? You're going to have so much anger and bitterness inside that it's going to explode one day. And now you're going to say, so, well, you've been doing it anyway for the past couple of months. Even and all that's going to come up is, I thought you said don't worry about that no more.
Exactly.
But is it still there?
Yes. And the time has to be taken from the both of you to resolve what the issue is. One person cannot change or resolve an issue. It takes the both working together because you want your relationship to work.
And one person can't dominate the issue. Well, it's going to be my way or the highway. No, it's not your way.
Mm-hmm.
It's our way together, how we work it out.
Yes.
And what we work out.
Mm-hmm.
And how we do that is give and take. I go back to our give and take. You read the book, it's in there, about give and take. It's a give and take relationship.
Yes.
Some things you have to give. You can't have it all your way every time. It can't be all your way.
There has to be compromise.
There has to be compromise. Yes. There has to be where I'm not going to talk to you like that. And I'm sorry that you felt like I was talking to you angrily, upsetly. Well, I'm not going to this what I'm going to do. I'm not going to talk to you like that anymore. I'm not going to raise my voice if that's a problem for you.
Yes.
You know, I'm not going to treat you that way. I'm not going to ignore you when you're talking to me. I'm not going to act like you ain't say nothing and I know you said something, but I was ignoring you anyway. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to hear you out. If that makes you happy, I'm going to hear you out.
Yes.
I'm going to hear what you got to say, and then I will respond. But when I respond, it won't be in a negative way. It won't be in an angry way. It won't be I'm going to do, you know, I'm gonna talk with you.
Yes, yes.
Let's sit. Yeah, we're talking now. Let's sit down and talk about it. Tell me how we can make this better. Not to add on to the solution, but come up with solutions so the marriage can be better. Because there's nothing worse when you can walk through a house together and say nothing to each other.
For weeks.
Yeah, and it's nothing when you walk to a house and avoid because you don't want to get into another argument.
Yes.
Or you don't want to go through nothing. Or you don't want to hear like you getting into a fussing argument because that's what it's going to lead up to. And you know, because that's the way y'all react to one another. Let's try something different.
Yes, yes.
Let me not yell at you. Let me not throw things at you. Let me not tell you ain't no good no more.
Yes, yes.
Let's sit down and just talk about our issue.
Because true love overcomes every obstacle, regardless of how bad the situation, the issue, or the problem is. If we are truly in love with each other, I don't want to go back and forth arguing, fighting, but let's find solutions. Like my husband said, find solutions, you know, because you may be mad about something that I don't even know that I offended you about, but you never said anything. So I did it again, not knowing that you was upset the first time. And I did it again. And here it is, a big argument and a fight because you never told me that it bothers you when I say that.
Oh, you know, you do that on purpose. What did I do on purpose? Well, you know how you did every time you do that. When I ask her, you ready to, you don't want to talk, or you don't want to say no, or when I ask her, you act like you don't hear me.
Don't let them build up and become explosive. Because at some point, if the issue is explosive, then that means the people involved in the issues, their attitudes, their tempers, the way we talk to each other, we're not talking, we're screaming, we're fussing, we're hollering, we're fighting, we're just, you know, mad, angry. There's no love being showed or displayed because of an issue that we did not resolve.
And men or women, not going home is not going to solve the problem. Wait until they go into sleep. It's not going to solve the problem. Well, I'll just sleep on the couch. It's not solving the problem. Avoiding them is not solving the problem.
That's it.
How you have to handle this, you got to hit the nail on the head and you got to confront it straight on, because also too, remember the enemy is watching all of this and he's ready to put an ambush on your marriage. And he wants to do that. And don't be in the middle of an argument and then unfinished people come back. Now you got a real serious problem. because now you're looking more at them instead of looking at the issue in front of
Yes. So communication,
you.
and we talk about this every time. Communication is the key. You have to be able to communicate and be able to talk to each other. Not brushing each other off, not, oh, I don't want to talk about it right now, and I don't, leave me alone. I don't want to be bothered. We have to be able to talk. We have to be able to open up. We have to be able to know that there's a struggle in that area, and what is it that we're going to do to address it so we can develop, we can grow together, we can mature together, and our love will be so much stronger because we know how to resolve conflicts. So resolving conflict is not walking away, slamming the door, leaving the house, and, oh, I'm going for a
Or
ride.
over talking the person when they
Right.
trying to explain to you what they're going through, or you get mad because they telling you how you
Yes.
you selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, don't never boy. Hey, listen, nobody don't like to hear that they selfish and they about themselves and they ain't thinking about me as your husband or me as your wife. All you thinking about is what you want.
Yes.
And how you and want me to get it for you and get you this and do that, and you do nothing for me. You never show me any love. You never buy me any flowers. You never fix me a dinner. You never tell me you love me. You think it'll be bigger things than that, but it'll be the smallest thing.
And then you could be married to someone that just don't like to communicate.
No
Don't want to.
affection.
Right. They don't like to communicate, or don't even know how to communicate. So in that case, you've got to manage your anger, your stress, your aggravation, and you have to coax them into talking by asking them questions that will cause them to open up. Well, so what's the problem? Like, what's the matter? What did I do? That something need to change? What is it that we need to work on? And remember that you have to be patient, because if they've never been a communicator and they've never been in a relationship where issues were resolved or worked out, this may be something new. Oh, you mean you really actually want to talk about it, but you cannot sit down and talk in a hostile environment. There's no way that resolution will come forth because you're so busy fussing at each other. You're so busy yelling and fighting that you will not be able to work through the problem.
And when you have that person that's like that and they're not talking, and then then when they try to talk and you over talking them, well, I didn't know you feel like that. I didn't know you. Now they don't want to talk anymore because they feel intimidated because everything I say, you ready to tear my throat out. They stick your hand out and pull my throat out because I'm telling you how I feel. And a lot of times they don't want to tell you because, they know how you're going to react. So how you going to sit down with, you got to be not so angry to sit down and let them tell you how they feel.
Yes.
Whether it hurts you or not, whether you didn't feel like you did nothing wrong or not.
Yes.
Hear them out.
Yes. And you both may not be communicators. If you both have issues where you don't talk, or you just don't open up to each other, and your relationship has always been like this, at some point someone has to make a move. Someone has to be the one that initiate the change that needs to happen. So if you're quiet and you don't talk and you don't say nothing, and they're quiet and they don't say nothing, but there are issues and problems, then you need to bring your spouse and say, look, we have some issues and problems. Let's sit down, talk about it, and let us work it out so we can fix it.
And, my biggest thing is it's so unhealthy in a relationship when you can't sit down and talk with one another without something always spewing out the wrong way. Where is the love that you have for one another? When you first got together and you first got married, that's how a lot of relationships, they start off nice and we done got married. Now we talking to one another. Yes. Everything is fine for a while, but then something in the middle, y'all working, you got kids, now you ain't spending that much time together. Now something triggers, something happens. Now y'all don't have that communication line anymore. And it happens in so many marriages where people they lose communication with one another. They lose that communication that they need vitally because now I can't talk to you like I used to because I'm so busy, you're so busy. We got kids. When they get home, we're all tired out, can't do nothing else because we got our mind set on that. We got to get up the next morning, got to go to work, and we forget about saying, "Hey, you know what? I love you. Hey, how was your day? What you went through? What's going on with you? How you feeling? Sometimes that goes a long way with somebody, they ain't care about my day when they ain't even ask me. They ain't even say nothing. So they must be don't care. Because we get those things in our head already talking negative because they're not asking us those questions. They asked me how my day, they ain't even tell me they love me. They just went to sleep and didn't say nothing.
And we got to remember love conquers all.
Yeah.
Love conquers all. So even if they mad, didn't say nothing, then so don't be that person that not gonna say anything either. The issue has to be resolved. So they done lay down, I'm gonna lay next to you. Babe, we gotta talk. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with initiating it and not becoming mad and aggressive, just like your spouse is currently mad and aggressive and don't want to talk? Coax them, let them know, hey, we're not going to sleep like this. We ain't going to bed angry. Y'all ain't gonna sleep anyway. Y'all the back will be turned and y'all huffing and puffing all night long. Nobody will be asleep. So why not turn over, face each other, and just begin to talk? Open up. That's unresolved business when we cannot handle conflict within our relationship nor solve problems or issues as they occur. And if that person, your spouse, apologize, accept the apology. Accept the apology. Accept it. Just as we want them to accept ours, accept it. Unfinished business. We know in love and relationships that, there are going to be troubles, there are going to be problems, there are going to be hindrances, there are going to be things that happen in our relationship, but we are the ones that holds it together. We are the ones that are working together because we want our marriage to work, we want our relationship to work. So anything that tries to stop that flow, anything that tries to stop that connection or break it, we have to take a handle of it. So there will not be any unfinished business.
Yes, yes.
We pray you all enjoyed this broadcast on tonight. Please don't forget to follow our Facebook page. We're on Instagram and Twitter, YouTube, Unified Love Couples Ministry. Share this broadcast because there are a lot of people that are struggling because they're dealing with unfinished business. So with the points and the tips that we've left in the broadcast, it could help somebody. So thank you so much. Follow us. Follow us
on our group.
Yes, we have a group, Unified Love Couples Ministry.
And it's growing every day.
So
hey, get in while you can. Don't miss out. Be a part of our group on Facebook. Also, too, we put tips on there. We put things on there that we don't talk about here. And you need to be a part of our group.
Yes. So thank you for being with us. And God bless you.
Thank you for tuning in to Unified Love Couples Ministry with Senior Pastor Odin and Apostle LaShawn Reese. We pray that you've been blessed by this time in the Word. To obtain a copy of the Love Cure for Relationships and Marriage, for prayer, questions, and for more information, visit our website at unifiedlovecouplesministry.org or contact us anytime at 1-833-TRUE-LOVE. 1-833-TRULOVE. Join us on the first Saturday of each month, beginning